Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Blob. So, the last level felt kind of like it was a bit more of a linear boss battle kind of level without actually a boss battle. I kind of figure Ministry of Ink is going to be similar type of boss battle experience, and so I'm questioning what the final level may be, but we can only find out by going forward. We also did some of the challenges, which are super short and fairly easy compared to some of the challenges in the main levels, which it really doesn't make a lot of sense that they are separate challenges in that case, other than that they're just different layouts, the beginnings of potentially one more level or a different instance of a level. We have 2 more songs to unlock, so we'll have to see if we unlock all of them by the time we reach the credits. So yeah, there's a map of the overworld, but the game doesn't show you a map anywhere else. I'd assume we're just gonna fight this general character eventually. You'd almost think that throughout the story there would be a second instance of every level in which the ink blobs take things over. Yeah, you'd think the Ministry of Ink would just be the end of it. It's been a long time since we've introduced any new kind of enemy, but it has also been a little bit of a time since we've seen the enemies on the jet bike, so maybe they'll make a comeback, although I kind of would be happy if they didn't. Weirdly, levels are more and more starting with the starting areas being colored and painted in. This is our day of victory. The radiant uprising has swept Ink before us. All Chroma City is ours, and we have trapped Commander Black in his Ministry of Ink. However, his fortress stands strong against us, and the frontal assault will cost many lives. But a lone hero could save the day. Can you enter Ink's HQ and transform it from within? Take the wind cannon and join Biff atop the walls. Hopes fly with you. Yeah. Inherently, they do want every level to start this way. There's just a whole bunch of them on a boat back there. Noticeably, though, they're not moving. So they have just rendered a large amount of characters without any movement. They didn't even bother to try and cheat it and have a few characters moving back and forth, which that speaks to the level of power that that the CPU and GPU would have had on the Wii. But yeah, it looks to me like there's basically nothing that can happen here, and so it's just probably a waste of time. Just like everything seems to be colored in, and forward we're going to go. Once again, the camera is just so terrible, you can't even see like what you're about to engage with. It looks like there's at least 2 large tankers or Gatling guns. And the music element here is not great. So let's go back here and check, just to be somewhat thorough. And just see what it would have been like if we had fallen somehow. Or just see if there is a element. Because this grass obviously can be painted, but I'm not sure you really need the grass to be painted. And then there's a whole section here, so it almost feels like you might go in circles. If this wasn't a game that had the trappings of being a kid's game, arguably it's not polished well enough to really be something I'd want a kid to struggle with, but if it didn't have these trappings, I'd almost think that the main bad guy is going to capture the Blob, or reveal that the Blob has always been a spy, or use him and trick him to spread ink all over. It doesn't really feel like you're leaving a lot of room for a sequel to this game, when you easily could make more levels. Welcome to the front lines. The turrets around the parade ground have kept us pinned down. Can you get down there and deal with them? Zip spots spotted a paint tanker in the back streets, which will supply you all the power. Once the turrets are gone, we'll raise the color energy and break the sector gate. Be careful though, Blob. The walls here are running with ink. So, weirdly, the game is not showing me where the tanker is. And there's not a lot you can do here. You can run around to get to this spot. That puts me in this good spot now to go take on the enemies and get the music playing louder. Now I'm not sure that these tanks alone I'm not sure in the mode I'm in if I'm still completely immortal. If it had actually shot me, I'm not sure if that wouldn't have still hurt me. So I need to kind of get to higher spots. That's my goal. Which probably should be my goal. I'm gonna try and paint things. Just this concept of having ink on the wall, though, actually works fairly well. Although those banners give the feeling that there's going to need to be some way that I can figure out how to get way higher. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to pull that off. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like you could reach those banners. This would be an area, I suppose, where it would make a lot of sense for there to be a lot of banners. trying my best to probably need to move as fast as possible. The walls oozing with ink, though, actually doesn't change the gameplay quite enough. I'm trying to think what might actually change the gameplay quite a bit, but it would have to be a case where the enemies could attack with ink and undo your progress, or that there would be some kind of creeping ooze of some sort. Something that would slowly return things to being colorless if you don't move fast enough. Go ahead and move to the next challenge. See, I can't hit this power pole. I have to jump up to hit it. That's weird. I suppose there's a real danger here. That 50 yellow and 50 red. There's definitely a danger here that you would end up having to paint things in a really complicated pattern. We had that in the last level. That's a situation. We've made enough progress for the transforming, but we're also in the middle of a challenge that I'm not actually focusing too much on. So we have 50, now we need to turn that 50 into yellows. Which would either be accomplished by washing and then going yellow. I really can't afford paint anything because I only have 54 yellow. Honestly, this square area, well, thematically might be in line with the kind of design you would think would come from a boring group of colorless characters. It just doesn't feel like a late game boss area. It feels like you should have had something like this fairly early in your experience, somewhere on the first, second, or third level. I guess once you get the transforms done, that opens the walls away from being ink. Then opens the question about, do I need to paint the walls? That could definitely have been a trick. In a lot of ways, a big square area like this, all the flags have changed by themselves too. Interesting. Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. Everything being in this area is so square. Feels like it's trying to have the game guarantee that for at least one level you actually get 100% painted or have at least a decent chance of having everything 100% painted or get all the radians. This is where it's going to come down to the challenging things. The lead Inkys were created from 3 blocks around the parade ground. Deck everything out in yellow, red, and orange. So, we want everything over there yellow. Everything over here red. I think I'm going to end up doing a lot of orange. Yeah. Seems to me the move here is probably to do everything orange in the middle. Yellow. That means everything else they want is orange. Good. 30 seconds to pull that off. Super difficult. That definitely could have been much more of a challenge. Always, though, this does just kind of feel like this is a very last-second thought as far as the level design. By the end of this day, no Radiant shall suffer captivity for everyone from the 2 jails. Each require 100 pain points each. This jail. Now inherently this is still a big problem in that I'm going to have to just tap the A button 100 times for this one. Then I'm going to have to run around for the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds or less to get another 100 paint and then tap the A button 100 times. Where being able to hold down the button would make all the sense in the world for a even the Wii version of the game. It would make a lot of sense to be able to just hold down the A button. But also, certainly, just having a certain power level of 100 and then it succeeding or failing based on that power level. Would be the much more reasonable thing here, particularly since these levels have speedrun challenges to them. So there's just no way that you're likely to pull off a speedrun if you have to sit here and tap the A button 200 times. this definitely feels like a level that, as long as I don't end up spending too much time, I think I can get everything in this level. I can at least give it a try. Why does this tiny dictators insist on raising enormous statues of them? The statue of Comrade Black has been scaring the pigeons for too long, cast it down to 7 orange paint spots. Okay. So, that. There really is just no value at all in fighting the enemies. Once again, another 70 button presses. Although in this case, I didn't have enough paint points, so I'll just wait until these refill. And it's not even like this game is forcing me to press the A button particularly fast. I'm just kind of casually, slowly pressing the button. I'm not trying to mash it at an insanely high speed. New challenge appeared. I think there's a bit of a disconnect between the visual theme of music in this game and the actual element of music in the culture or life of these characters. Why is the block very expensive like they are? Maybe it's best not. So it wants the buildings orange or the fences orange. Which that could be somewhat difficult. But if we fail the first time, then we'll just get it the second time. We see a lot of musical elements and the gameplay mechanic, or it's not a gameplay mechanic per se, but the mechanic of playing audio and playing more audio tracks the more you paint things, or which noticeably when you unlock a new area, it resets the audio and makes it more silent and plays less of the audio tracks of different instruments. But that doesn't actually do anything to the experience of the video game. Mega Reactor. They should have been talking about a Mega Reactor throughout this whole game. It powers the force field around the Ministry of Ink. So are we even going to get to the Ministry of Ink in this level, or do we get to the Ministry of Ink in the last level? It would be fairly believable. It seems like we're just trying to ignore that short hallway. These levels are just not big enough to do that. I would think that the music aspect might... Whoops. Essentially gonna die in here. You would almost think that the music aspect would give you more health. So, the better the audio, the less likely you would die, faster you might move. You'd think that the amount of ink and how you have in you, how big you are, would play that kind of role too. And yet, weirdly, it doesn't. Painting all of this is really just for an achievement, or a challenge. Let's see what it takes to do this. Power station is undefined and ours for the transform. Get in there with 60 purple paint points. Undefended, I bet is what that word was. Okay, if we need purple. It almost feels like there should be a much bigger balance between something getting taken over, like this power station, and you losing paint, so that there would perhaps be more of a delicate balance and a challenge there, in which, yes, you would make progress, but you'd leave yourself vulnerable. Meanwhile, really just don't want to leave it as is. Have all this other section not painted in. Although I'm not sure I can actually reach the entirety of what I'm aiming for. Yeah, I can. Of course, that becomes a big problem there. Once you get inked on the walls. Which that's a interesting question as to why am I getting inked? Like why are these walls like that? Let's just move forward and then maybe come back to this whole area. And now we could count on you, Blob. Let's get to work on the mega reactor. Just being near this thing creeps me out. Got to paint this area of the stage. I'll talk you through it. Here we go. So just a full-on unlimited challenge here. And yeah, these rebels certainly aren't really helping any. They're just giving you directions. The lake of ink cools and supplies the fuel rods. We need to lower the ink and purify the water. There are 3 ink pumps that transform. Hit the first one with 50 green paint. So are these black hexagons cool rods, or are they just platforms? Each time you transform an ink pump, fuel rods clusters are forced to the surface. Use Z jump to get to the next 2 pumps. Hit them with 50 blue and 50 yellow. Interesting how the audio just totally cut out there to tell you that. I guess the game maybe is doing a little bit of a better job on not... Oh, can I hit that? No. It's not popping up dialogue without giving the dialogue prompt of A. It certainly would be irritating though to have to... I guess you're somewhat safe to do something like this. Although I'm not sure you're that safe. Because, yeah, that totally messed me up. Yeah. And that very possibly has reset me all the way, so let's just go and finish the boss fight. Yeah. So we have 21 minutes left, and we're gonna obviously want to do this whole section first, and then we'll run around the rest of the level, painting things. I have exactly 50 blue, which is going to mean I have nothing at the end of this. Okay. These Z jumps still don't mean anything at all. They're impossible really to fail at, and they don't give you different directions. Which that is something you could have done, certainly, is that you could have had a up and down, even on the Wiimote, swing up to go one way, swing down to go the other way. A spin, swing, or jiggle the Wiimote to fall out of the air and land on floating platforms. Anything to give you any real control instead of just putting you on a roller coaster track. Now the ink pumps are shut off, the fuel rods are starting to rise. You need to paint them in 3 sequences. First sequence. Good luck. Alright. Painting things has never really felt like it directly led to changing the setup. So this feels weird. Stuck and I'm losing paint. Remember. So what I want to do here is get to the spot, get back to being red. Hope I have enough red. It's so weird that that's not just audio feedback when you unlock a terraforming, or that there isn't a map that would say, that would just let you check where you've unlocked the terraforming. Okay, we've gone full circle. Which now has me painting everything blue. Second sequence is starting. Be alert. They have deployed Inkies on top of the fuel rods. I don't understand how they think the sequence is... Okay, so now we are going in circles. So I suppose this is a slightly interesting way in which to do all of this. Is makes painting the whole area feel more important and gives you a decent excuse as to why you would want to collect everything. Guess you have to be somewhat careful not to pick the wrong colors. Well, I've missed something. These are all supposed to be blue. Okay, well. This is the third and final sequence. We're almost there. Be careful of Inky and hazards, and paint the rest of the rods. Complete this. We'll transform the mega reactor. Go. I'm hoping this just shoots me back to the starting spot. But not sure it really is going to. So these are just shooting me around. Okay. We'll just move. So now this is repainting things. Of course. You're still also gonna have a whole bunch of things in this area to paint. I can try to be somewhat thorough around it, but the inky walls are gonna make that difficult. We've just unlocked the final escape hatch. Blue. Feels like there should be an enemy that just stands in place. Like, doesn't quite make sense. Yeah. Camera here is still really bad. This is highlighting some of the worst aspects of the jumping wonkiness. You see, that's blue. If I go over there, I'll just hit a red. So it does kind of feel like I should do this. And see what that shoots me to. Didn't help. Alright, blue. Turns that to purple. That turns that to blue. This looks like this may be the last of the sequence anyway, so that may be it. We've done it. The mega reactor is now knocked out. So is the force field surrounding the Ministry of Ink. Let's keep moving. Yeah. The camera's still doing a very poor job of really showing me where any of this is. I would have to heavily rely on the compass if the game was even slightly difficult or had even a few branching paths. By the looks of it, finishing that level did just paint everything, though. So it doesn't seem to me like I need to run around. Although it is kind of a requirement to figure out to get to this spot, the one unpainted area. Then you get to this spot, paint this. And then this is giving us another narrow pathway section. Just gonna let me probably speed through this whole thing without really thinking about painting it. The Might of I.N.K.T army is drawing up against you, Blob. The tank team foe will not be easy to overcome. Now we've already fought one tank team foe. It's a little surprising you fight a second one. Above you are the helicopters that plagued Chroma City. There's supposed to be helicopters clearly in the game. Through the gate is your target, the Ministry of Ink. Yeah. I bet there was definitely a thought that there would have been enemy helicopters flying around, and they just weren't capable of programming them to work and be a good threat. Helicopters flying around and you having to take them out would make a lot of sense. See, I can't even pick up that without getting burned. Steel yourself. This training ground is home with Ink tank division. Smash the tanks on patrol, and the prof will unlock the tank depot for you. Yeah. You'd think maybe terraforming here would give you a way of hiding behind the tanks, but I don't think that's really what they're going for. good news is the fire's gone, so if we have to go back and paint something, we need a lot of ink. Need to paint a lot of things. Yeah, I can see these helicopters being flying tanks and them just being really difficult to take on. I could see turrets being taken over as a way of dealing with tanks or helicopters. But pretty obviously that's not implemented. There's the blimp for this level. We just missed it. How many points do the tanks require? These guys, yeah. Seems like they need a full 100 to be taken out. So I'm trying to multitask as much as possible here. But I don't know how much I can really accomplish with while these guys are still shooting at me. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was a time limit on this. See, I guess these walls do provide some level of cover. But not enough. It doesn't feel like there's a super tanker anywhere in this area. If that was supposed to be the trick. Well, I can paint things. It's a decent chance it's not. Things aren't going to be painted the color that the game's going to want in the long run. Was there some other strategy to taking out tanks that I've forgotten about? Seems like that's a no. About a minute. Is. You'd think being brown might do more damage, or being a secondary color might do secondary damage. That would certainly complicate things to an interesting level. Then all of a sudden, combining the colors fully to a brown would be appealing, even though brown as a color is not visually appealing. Maybe you could cheat a little bit there, and instead of having it be brown, have it actually be gold. Let's see what this is. 30 blue paint points. Gonna have 30 blue paint points by the time we get there. Running low. Doing a particularly good job of painting everything from the look at it. And almost certainly it's going to be these little things in the back that would get in the way of. Try that again. So far, and go back this way, get blue. There's a whole nother level up here on the edges, which is recognized. It'd be interesting to see if there was a game out there where weakening these propaganda towers would play an audio sound that would just weaken all the enemies in a certain area. That's where you could have like a music challenge. Yeah. I could definitely see that be a thing where the sonic element of a game would be integrated better. That red. This want to be yellow. Does anything else want to be red? Wants to be blue. Good news is, I guess it's all somewhat contained. Right. Just need red now. next challenge. What's this one? It's time to put the ink weapons at monochrome destruction, transform the tank depot with 100 purple. Let's see if we can get that. Well, that would just mean we would need to find the blue. Which we can do. And then just not paint anything at all. Red. Whoops. Blue. Purple. Come on, get in there. It's not going to be exactly 100, but it'll get us close enough, although I'm not sure I have enough time. And I bet this challenge is always going to throw a tank at us, and this is weirdly going to be one of those situations where you should just ignore it. And you're just not going to have enough time otherwise. Just hope that's enough. Yeah, you'd think taking over this landmark might weaken the tank to the level that it takes half as much ink to be defeated. But no, I don't think it really works that way. Just not enough ink sources for enemies that require such a high amount. See, I don't know if this guy needs 50 or if this guy needs like 75. Seems like it's a full 100. Basically means you have to hit him. I don't even know where I am. I guess we are trying to move me forward. There we go. We're running out of lives. We're not particularly running out of time. But yeah, not enjoying the extra challenge here. It's been an hour. Very obviously, these levels need to be about twice as long. Let's see what this challenge is. Not even sure where I'm supposed to be going, but I need 50 yellow. It said. I guess that means we should just wait here until this respawns. Trying my best not to paint things. And maybe taking out this police station will clear out this area. if there's some other challenge in this area, but I wouldn't be surprised if there actually isn't any more challenges in this area. So it doesn't really feel like it leaves a lot of room for strategy. Not, at least not obvious strategy. Maybe there's some speedrun strategies around this, but left to my own thoughts, I would assume just do everything as quickly as you can and then move on and don't think about it any more than that. Alright. So we just have to move forward to the next section now. This is the final approach, brace yourself. This doesn't really feel like it's a bigger challenge. Speed across the bridge. It's time to pay the comrade a house call at the Ministry of Ink. Still not sure if the Ministry of Ink isn't just the final level. I have a thought here that could have been really fun, in that they could have had the Blob roll in several sequences. Just take the idea of being a ball to the logical extent, and then have rolling sequences, bowling sequences, gain momentum as you're at different angles. You use more of a physics element to that. I could see a Super Monkey Ball inspired sequence where you're rolling down an area trying to specifically paint as much as possible while rolling, and then getting a bonus from that, potentially. Because the last watchtower, too long as these stood sentinel of a Chroma City, transform it with 80 green. Right. So, we have 100. And that didn't help. We need the yellow to come back up, and then we need to come over here. 10 seconds. So unless I tap the A button really, really fast, I think I'm gonna fail here. Is the game going to let me succeed anyways, though? No, it isn't. It just threw me out completely. And reset me. And in this case, I am just gonna mash the A button as fast as possible, which this is the first time the game has really made me do that. I have a little bit of arthritis in my fingers and hands, so it's not particularly fun, or just my default thought to mash buttons if I can avoid it. And I don't find it particularly fun anyways. I don't think anybody really finds it that fun. Are we missing anything? Yeah, almost certainly, but almost certainly there's something I haven't painted that could be painted. I don't think you really need to paint every side section. Whoops. But maybe you do. Okay. tanks, we've got things to paint down here, we've got enemies. And see, I just don't know if I'm actually supposed to be fighting all these, or if this is just a punishment zone. Punish players who fell down. It seems to me like the game intentionally wanted you to fall down here. It definitely seems like there's a lot of stuff to paint down here. So that wasn't a roll sequence, but I guess it was a surprise attack sequence that unfortunately I didn't trigger, so it probably should have been scripted that the bridge would have only fallen when I happened there, and arguably maybe that should have been a cutscene that threw me down in that section. That way I knew for a fact that there's no way to avoid it. Because I could see some players going, oh, that ruined my speed run, or that was something that should have been avoidable and I made a mistake, so I'll potentially reset. And you don't want to encourage a player to reset if it's not intentional, or if it is intentional to have a fight sequence. So on one hand, you fight all these people. On the other hand, you ignore the people. It's a lot. Definitely a lot of turrets to fight. Yeah, I just don't think I can actually target those turrets. And so then they're gonna just undo the painting anyway, so let's start this and see what this is. Blob, this is the last comrade Black Elites, his personal dog. We've come too far to stop now, call him good. Okay. So I need red. And then just go take out these guys. Where's the other guys? They're supposed to be blue. Yeah. I just have no way of getting up there. I feel like the Comrade Elites May have just got stuck in the walls somehow. Nope, I bet they're up here. That would make a lot more sense. Alright. Just go ahead and take on. Wow, I'm surprised I actually succeeded there. Take some more time. I'd like to take a moment. Just look at everything. See, these are like solid colored statues, which I think it's fairly easy to not recognize that. I'm not sure if that means they're painted or they're not painted though. We can just leave the level. Every Radian has dreamed of this day, Blob. We have seen our blackest and white sunset. Herald the new dawn of color, bring down the mystery of ink. The monolith has 3 weak points, which require 50 brown paint points. Really? Brown? Is that what it says it needs? Because I would say that doesn't really look like brown as much as it looks. Oh man. Too easy to get shot. This is where you'd think the terraforming might help you, and that this would be a dodgeball type, paintball type dodging thing. Yeah, that says green. That is not brown. So either I read brown. Nope. It does say brown at the top right. So that, whatever I just did, is not what we're supposed to be doing. That was just the beginning, I guess. Yeah, I think I get it now. This. This. Come over to that and put in 50 brown paint points. We have a minute left to do this. So that's not going to happen. I hope I have enough brown paint points left. I probably don't. I'm gonna just be slightly shy and how do you get more brown now? Red. Yeah, there's no water down here. You get a ridiculous amount of levels and lives. Almost went the wrong way. Okay. You'd think as you're jumping around you might be able to lock in on something. And as you're locking in on the targets, you could attack the other turrets. But that's not really the case, is it? This reset a lot of enemies. It does all have this kind of circus feel with the Z-Locks. It would be a lot more interesting if there was a circus connection to the Blob. Just go down here. There we go. Last one is just up front and center. I wouldn't be surprised if this just takes out all the turrets in the area. Looks like maybe the general flew away in a spaceship. Okay. We're now just supposedly, I guess, painting things and looking for things to paint. Although weirdly, a lot of this stuff, I would think before leaving this area, it would be very wise to check all these sections. So that statue became unpainted. Oh, there's just a lot here. A lot of stuff we'd have to keep an eye on. Try and move, and we have about 8 minutes, which is probably way too little of time. Plus, I don't fully have a plan for the blimp. Which clearly should have a full plan for the blimp. Yeah, you're just going to end up getting decolored, more than likely. Once you get the wonky jumps just absolutely perfectly. I don't even know if I can get back to the other area. And see, there's like painted sections over there, but the painting textures don't even load in, so it's kind of hard to know for certain that he actually painted everything in. 6 minutes. What you'd want is a shortcut back to the rest of the level. Not miss things. There's so many things potentially be missed. Okay. Right. So is there a way back? I think there might have been an Easter egg or something around all that. Remember, we've got to get back to this spot too, so anything I shoot for here. Yeah. There would need to be a projector that would shoot me up back that direction, either a Z-jump or a cannon, and there just isn't. We can hit the blimp, so we got that. There's no way back to the rest of the level, so you would have, without the assistance of the compass, had to have gotten the rest of the level done. There's just no other solution. It's not like you can platform over. It's not like you can long jump over. It's not like there's a second path. Well, we only have 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. You'd think maybe there would be a way to jump over a wall or something. Or possibly even fall down. Just doesn't seem like that's the case. Yeah, if I could jump over that wall, or if the wall had fallen down or broken, then I could get back to where I was. But nope. So it's just another case where you just can't do everything. And that would have been fine, certainly, if this was something that saved your progress and then I could go back and continue in a level with no time limit, or even continue with a time limit. But having to come back to this level and start over from scratch to get it these awards. It's just asking way too much. That was an hour and 25 minutes. And then you still have the speedrun element, in which I rather question whether I can actually beat these levels at that speed. That's crazy. Crazy fast. In the sense that it also is ignoring just what this entire game is all about. And that the game is obviously about kind of taking it slow and painting everything, or moving fast and painting it off. But the game doesn't actually have the character move fast enough. Right. So we unlocked a couple of challenges. So what I want to do is try to do all the challenges before we get to the end of the game. That way we don't end up having a really long final episode. Plus these episodes have already gotten very long. So we're supposed to just fight all of these guys. Atop the cranes. Then reach the exit pool within the time limit. So I don't know if I really have to defeat any number of enemies per se. Seems like this is mostly just a zoo targeting challenge. There's 3 of them that I don't see. Here. Where is he? Right. Yeah. It'll take a couple tries, but this is fairly easy, and this definitely feels like the kind of different sequence that would have been really appreciated throughout the main story of the game. In that, by having something a little different like that, I could better appreciate the rest of the more monotonous gameplay mechanics. Out of paint. Game is still irritating in that it highlights the wrong button. And obviously retry should be the default button. Why would you discourage the player from probably got this. Gold medal, kind of doesn't matter how long it takes otherwise. See, clearly, I would think that the reason that these challenges exist are more because a publisher negotiated with the developer that these kinds of challenges would exist early in the production phase of the game, more than it being logical for them to just be separate sections. Follow the flare markers down. Each of these locations are different areas too. They're different instances of levels. It's a little interesting in that the game has the locks over the sewers, and it's not really making a commentary around why there are locks over the sewers. So I've been inked here. Actually go quite a far distance while being inked, which I think is necessary. Really. You can't Z-lock on to the flares though. You can Z-lock on the enemies. Guys crash into each other way too often. Like, that didn't really happen in any of the other levels. It's a little weird. So there we go, we got gold. So really no reason why you'd ever want to do any of these challenges a second time. Which, that's the thing that would make a challenge stand out as being more interesting, certainly, is if you actually did want to play it multiple times, maybe not have to. Wall run, Z target trains, Z use ramps and Z jumps. Each exit goal within the time limit. This one feels like this could be quite a bit of a challenge. We've got to hit the walls. So this may just highlight where that wonkiness of the jumps here just aren't going to really cut it. Said, may not really matter that much. could easily just exit level. This one could be a bit more of a challenge. Yeah. There's just a lot that they want painted blue. 49 pieces in particular. Of course, if you just manage to not get stuck, it should be kind of fun. Using these sections and the trains to save you to allow you to move quicker. This could be a bit of a challenge. Although, I'm not sure how much of a challenge, really. Come on. 7 seconds. Gold medal. So that was a little bit more of a challenge. Not really a lot more. But again, that's not something I think I'd ever really want to do again. So we're getting gold, I think, on everything so far. But then there is also fairly high chance that a lot of these are going to be these paint challenges. Get as many silos as you can. Move quickly, there's a lot to get done in the long haul. So I imagine this is just really about knowing the color. You're going to paint things. Knowing how to swap to that color and that path. And then figuring out where to go next. Two blues over here. Can I make that jump? No. Can't make a jump over here? No. See, once you start to mess this up, bad. Let's just go ahead and restart.
Blob.
Yeah. Just don't screw it up. Is the trick. Of course, if I do screw it up later, then I'm also going to have to deal with the repercussions of that. So the move is to basically avoid these guys until we get all the purple in. You can do it that way, or you can do it that way, then you can do this, 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 and this. You can do this, and that. And then run over here, and hit that one. Seconds. I question whether we're going to pull this off. I think I missed a yellow. So the real question is how fast is too fast. Got all the yellows this time. Oranges. And missed an orange. I bet there's no going back. So let's just take it. Take that success. And then try it again.
Blob.
A big part of this is going to come down to not bothering with the camera angle so much. Come on. Stuck. A lot of this may also come down to straight up just not jumping as much. hit this from the ground. Let's try that again. We missed 2 things that time. Of course, using these jumps probably would be faster. Yellow. There's 5 oranges. I see only 4. Ah. That's the one I keep missing. There we go. I think that's probably good points to end here. That leaves us these challenges to do, and whatever challenges would unlock with that, it leaves us having to do downtown. So potentially there's 2 more episodes to try to do everything, although I am questioning as far as how much of that I really need to do. It's really a matter of pride, I think, more than getting achievements, because I don't think that there really is any real reason to play the games in free paint mode. And yeah, can't play Blob Party, so if there's any achievement around that, we're unlocking cutscenes by moving the main story forward, which feels like there will be a beginning cutscene here and then an ending cutscene, and those will unlock no matter what. And then for doing the challenges, we're unlocking these concept art galleries, which is nice to see this, because nowadays you see a lot of games that don't bother to have this kind of content, but there's really not a lot going on here. Yeah. And weirdly, there's just this, looking at the concept art, there's this weird watered down aspect to what the Radians seem to be all about. They feel like they just like bright colors, like they're, I don't know, a 4-year-old, 6-year-old kid, whereas something like Jet Set Radio or any other spray paint tagging game would have more of an edge to it, more characters, people, words, letters, symbols, things like that. Something a little bit more complicated, and this feels very kid-friendly-ified as far as the Radians, to the point where I severely question whether the Radians could have had a successful society in the first place. Although it isn't really that too far off from like the Squid Kids in Splatoon. Yeah, I could definitely see the influences there. There's a couple more of these galleries to unlock, but I'm not sure if there's a 1-to-1 ratio on the galleries compared to the challenges. And yeah, we've only gotten 55 out of 100 awards. And there's only one more level, which we could get at most another 10. So there's a significant amount of progress that wasn't made there. Let's see. Inky plays the Blob. So here's a video showing the Wiimote with the joystick attachment. So originally the concept of the Wii was just to have the Wiimotes and that would be your entire input, and fairly quickly they realized that you needed a joystick attachment and more buttons. And even at that, there's still not enough. Now this is a weirdly sharp looking video here, like, whereas every other video in the game has been fairly low resolution. So I don't know why that one looks so much better. Alright, well, with any luck, we'll see the credits in the next episode, and then have one episode in which we do as much as I want to do with this game, and then I will be done with it. And yeah, I don't know if I'll have much else to say about it, really. It's a alright, kind of average game, I would say, but the levels are far too small. It cries out for a rethink in its overall gameplay mechanics and concept, but if they did have that rethink, if Embracer Group, that I assume now owns the rights to this game, maybe they do, maybe they don't, or THQ Nordic wanted to make a new The Blob, they could certainly rethink the mechanics a little bit, make much bigger levels, and take the idea. I don't even know if you really should use the name The Blob though. Seems like you could make a spiritual successor to The Blob and have it set in a colorful Chromopolis world. I don't know if that's really what this place is called, but that's the word I would use, is make a world called Chromopolis, have it be either very large levels or a giant overworld level. Maybe even make it like Minecraft, where it's just procedurally generated and you can just paint buildings non-stop. Anyways, I'm going to end this episode here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's a link down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.